Afternoon with young Billy Finlay dropping out of the side which beat Alloa in the Cup last week. The former Hamilton Accies central defender Graham Mitchell comes in to replace him. Otherwise, it's a familiar looking Hibs lineup with Eddie May and George McCluskey on the bench. And leading the attack is Steve Archibald, who asked for a transfer last week. But you can be sure this is the type of big match he will relish, and he'll be looking to add to his 12 goals this season. And Rangers too make one change only from the side which fought out that classic cup tie with Dundee United in midweek. Neil Cooper drops out, and the second half hero against United, Ray Wilkins, remains on the bench, allowing Derek Ferguson to make his comeback after injury in midfield. Ali McCoy scored one but missed a few against United. I can tell you he's still smarting from the criticism he received after that match, and he'll be looking to make Hibs suffer. So the match referee this afternoon, Mr. Brian McGinley from Balfron, back at the top of the refereeing business in Scotland after his long layoff. Very highly rated indeed by clubs and officials alike. So the match is underway, and a vital match at that. Hibs through to the Cup semi-final, but more importantly this afternoon, chasing a place in Europe next season. Rangers putting all thoughts of Dundee United at Tannadice on Monday night out of their minds as they battle to ensure there are no slip-ups in the league race. Ian Durrant on the Rangers bench beside Walter Smith, the assistant manager. Evans and Monroe together. Derek Ferguson comes in very firmly indeed, and he'll be in trouble with referee McGinley, I think. Well, as Stuart Monroe, in fact, is the player going to be spoken to. Well, there was Monroe with Evans, and it was Derek Ferguson who came in to make the challenge. There's Ray, and Gough returns it. Here's McCoist, setting it up for Drinkle. Back to McCoist. Good play from Rangers. Here's Walters. Trying to take on Snedden now towards penalty area. Good play by Walters. The header was by McCoist. He didn't get much on that. There's Tortolano winning it and using Andy Gorham. Some good swift attacking play that from Rangers. Two front men, Drinkle and McCoist, combining particularly well, and Walters getting in on the act. Cross header. Ray goes up above McCoist. Ian Ferguson does well. This is Sterland taking on Mitchell for pace. The Hibs defender is equal to that. There's Drinkle, and now Sterland. Ali McCoist goes in! A great reflex save from Andy Gorham. This was fine play from Rangers. The ball driven in here from Mel Sterland. McCoist attacking it with his marker, and it was Gorham who kept it out. An awkward ball swirling around there in the air for Gough. This is Sterland. Good play by Collins, linking with Archibald. There's Tortolano on the left. Better build up this from Hibs. Tortolano going inside well, setting it up for Orr. Well, Neil Orr coming in, hoping to find the net from long range. Hasn't scored this season for Hibs, but it was well created, involving Archibald and Collins initially. Then Tortolano setting it up for Neil Orr's shot, which goes well wide of the target. Drinkle did well. Here's McCoist. Good running by Sterling on the right. Now looking for an accurate cross. And it's Gordon Ray who controlled that brilliantly right in front of Andy Gorham. Two Hibs players exchange a smile. Great build-up from Rangers. Sterling with an excellent cross coming towards Drinkle, and just look at the way it's turned back by Ray. Gordon Hunter's header. There's Paul Kane. Archibald going up early, trying to get an edge on Butcher. A protest from Archibald. Not to the referee, incidentally, it's to his teammates, complaining about the quality of the service. Goff's free kick. Good challenge there by Hunter. This is Evans, well tackled by Derek Ferguson. Now he's down clutching that left shoulder. Now that is a moment of anxiety for Rangers. Derek Ferguson has had regular problems with that shoulder, which dislocates so easily. A simple incident, a fine tackle this was by Derek Ferguson on Gareth Evans. It was the landing which caused the problem, and Ferguson instantly clutching that left shoulder. Well, anxiety there for Graham Souness in the director's box. He knows full well the implications of this. Well, Boersma delivers the attention. Now, can Ferguson continue? Well, at least for the moment he will. Archibald, or now Mitchell. Hibs improving as the first half goes on. Mitchell trying to get away from Sterling. That's not proving to be easy. That's a good pass though, finding Gareth Evans. Monroe closes him down. And a blatant body check by Monroe on Evans after the nutmeg. Free kick it is to Hibs. Well, Evans pushing that through the legs of Stuart Monroe and then being taken out of the play. Gordon Ray is right on the 6-yard line, marked by Butcher. Neil Orr will take the free kick. Butcher going to touch. There's Tortolano. Leaving space for the cross. Headed out by Goff, only as far as Collins. Fine effort from Collins. Well, that's supposed to be his weaker foot, the right. But he struck this well, all right. There was Tortolano doing well. Richard Goff waiting for this to nod it clear. Collins coming to take this first time on the drop. And into the side netting it goes. There's Sterling with Orr. This ball picked up by Ian Ferguson. A foul by Evans on Ian Ferguson, and Ian Ferguson reacting angrily to the Hibs striker. Well, no need for that from Ian Ferguson. The foul had already been given. And Terry Butcher having very stern words now with Ian Ferguson. Free kick to Rangers. Mark Walters takes it. Butcher going up well. There's Mitchell. Dumped away by Hunter. There were some appeals for handball inside the box, but the referee was not remotely interested. Walters lets that run. Snedden is with him again. Up goes Drinkle with Mitchell. Gorham can't reach that because of Terry Butcher. That's a free kick to Hibs. Obstruction by Butcher on Gorham. Tortolano's header. Stuart Monroe is there. He's beaten the ball by Evans, and Archibald was clearly offside before he was fouled. It's a free kick to Rangers. The flag was up, the whistle had gone before Archibald was fouled. And you'll see why, I'm sure. There he was, well offside Archibald, then brought down by Monroe. Certainly would have been a penalty kick, I'm sure, had the offside flag not been up. Slaying it back. There's Ian Ferguson getting a treatment from the Hibs fans for his angry reaction to Gareth Evans a moment or two ago. There's Derek Ferguson sweeping the ball towards Walters. That's a brilliant turn by Walters. Snedden trying to get back. Gorham at full stretch. Well, that was vintage Mark Walters and top-class goalkeeping from Andy Gorham. The pass came from Derek Ferguson. Look at the way Walters got away from Snedden. Sprinting now towards the byline as Snedden tries to get back to block the cross. And there was Andy Gorham stretching there to win that cleanly in front of Kevin Drinkle. Misjudged by Tortolano. There's Gary Stevens. McCoy being held by Mitchell. The referee allowing play to continue with McCoy in possession. Drinkle toe pokes it back to Derek Ferguson. Carefully measured that pass for Stevens. Gordon Hunter sends it out, and Drinkle scores for Rangers. 3 minutes from half-time, top-class striking by Drinkle. The Rangers legions celebrate now. Just look at this as Stevens plays it in. Hunter's clearance, the instant return shot from Drinkle, and Gorham was helpless. Drinkle's 14th goal of the season. Tortolano makes a run. Here's Richard Gough is scoring it back, and Tortolano couldn't keep it in play. It's out for a goal kick to Rangers. Tortolano working hard, and Chris Woods will be in no particular hurry with this goal kick. Referee Brian McGinley checking with both linesmen. And there goes the half-time whistle. Rangers ahead by 1-0. The scorer was Kevin Drinkle, and that's a lead which their first half performance merits. Gary Stevens playing it in, the clearance by Hunter straight to Drinkle, the fine opportunist striker's goal, and that's why the half-time score is Hibs 0, Rangers 1, and we'll be right back. The Rangers chairman David Murray, who spent the whole interval in the director's box talking to Jim Gray, the Hibs managing director, now in position for the start of the second half. Hibs playing downhill now, their favourite direction here at Easter Road. And they'll be looking to improve in their first half performance in an attacking sense at any rate. And matches between the clubs this season not known for producing a lot of goals. There have been 2 1-0 victories to date for Rangers in the league, and 1 0-0 at Ibrox. So if the quota is to be 1 goal, we may well have seen it now with Kevin Drinkle's opener for Rangers just before half-time. But Hibs, I'm certain, will be anxious to get off to a very fast start downhill in the second half. There's challenge on Derek Ferguson. There's Gary Stevens, and Derek Ferguson once again in trouble. That left shoulder, which caused the problem in the first half. Stuart Monroe administering treatment. And referee Brian McGinley brings the match to a halt, recognising the problem for Ferguson. Phil Boersma comes on, and I wonder if there will be another attempt to put the shoulder back in place to allow him to continue, or whether Rangers will now bring on Ray Wilkins. I think that will be the preferred course of action. Ferguson looking across towards the bench, clearly very anxious to remain on the field. Well, it's certainly brave, but it may be foolhardy. Wilkins prepares to come on as McCoist breaks on the right. Playing the ball against Mitchell for the corner kick. Well, there's still no doubt that Derek Ferguson is suffering. There he is, talking to Ian Ferguson. And the Rangers doctor is down at the track. Clearly he's anxious about Ferguson's problem. There's Walters with a corner kick. Out comes Gorham. John Collins thumps it out. It's Ferguson who got a touch. This is Walters. Well, that's a good turn. Whipping the ball across. It's beautifully taken in by Gorham under pressure. Excellent goalkeeping. Here was Walters making space for himself, whipping that awkward ball in, and Gorham held it as McCoy's closed in. Snedden tackled well by Walters. Derek Ferguson stumbling. Snedden towards Archibald. That's good control from Archibald, and the fine pass to Tortolano. Trying to take on Stevens. There's Collins robbing Ferguson. And winning a throw. Archibald's return pass to Tortolano. In goes Evans. What a let-off for Rangers. Gareth Evans with a superb header. Oh, a great move again again from Hibs. Cross from Tortolano. There was Evans. Woods was beaten. But the upright saved the day for Rangers. Well, Hibs pressing forward again with Ray inside the 6-yard box for Eddie May's corner kick. With a bumping and barging inside the 6-yard box, picked up by referee Brian McGinley. It's a free kick to Rangers. And now a substitution will be made by Rangers. It's one which appeared inevitable. There goes Derek Ferguson to tremendous applause. Rangers protecting that damaged left shoulder. And on goes Ray Wilkins, who made such a telling contribution in the second half against Dundee United on Tuesday evening. That's good play from Ian Ferguson. Pass intended for Trinkle. There's McCoist, now Walters. Mitchell saw enough of the ball. There's Stelland. Turned over by Gorham. Good move that from Rangers. Well created. And there was Mel Sterland now, looking up, trying to play the ball past Andy Gorham, but a good save for the keeper. There's Orr. Tortolano. Doing well to turn the ball forward, but Gough is first there for Rangers. Here's McCoist, and Ray comes across. Sterling's headed, there's Drinkle. Sterling again. Stumbling as he goes forward, but he's put the ball across for Walters to retrieve. Couldn't get the ball completely beyond Gordon Ray. There's a chance for Rangers with McCoist. Turned back by Ferguson to Wilkins. To Stevens. Sterling, Rangers pushing for the second goal, which would surely make victory certain. There's Joe Tortolano conceding yet another corner kick. Sterling's corner. Gorham helps it on its way. This is Butcher. Walters is onside. Up goes Gough. Now Wilkins. Superb opportunity that for Ray Wilkins. Scored twice this season already. One tremendous volley against Celtic, you may recall earlier in the season. That was another excellent chance. The ball about a couple of yards wide. Trinkle controlling it, tackled fiercely by Hunter. And a clash between the two players. Flying arms there, Gordon Hunter walking away innocently from the incident. Kevin Trinkle took a blow around the face. Well, they've had a number of tough exchanges. Here was the challenge which caused the problem. Hunter going in fiercely. Players tangling in vigorous fashion now. A rugby tackle by Drinkle as Hunter reacts. Looking for Archibald, a layoff to May. Good running by Eddie May, a chance for Hibs. Well, the ball perhaps still too high when May tried to play it. What a good move it was from Hibs. The layoff from Steve Archibald. Now just look at this ball bouncing as Eddie May goes to it. He wanted that to drop a bit lower so he could get more power in the shot. Chris Woods with a long throw. There goes May. There's Collins. All crowded and untidy in midfield for the moment. Here's John Collins riding a tackle from Wilkins. Judged illegal by referee McGinley. The consternation of Wilkins. Free kick it is to Hibs. Gordon Ray strides forward again. Or playing it wide for Mitchell. And a space there on the left. Up goes Ray, beaten to that by Butcher. There's Snedden! Could scarcely have been closer. Snedden hasn't scored all season. He's certainly not by any means a regular scorer, but look how well he strikes this. It was Butcher's header. Snedden came to meet it, and that's just wide of the post. There's Neil Orr now with the throw. Can Hibs snatch a goal right in the last seconds? Gough's clearance. Here's Collins. wide for Orr. That came off Sterling. That's a corner kick, I think, or is it a free kick? A free kick indeed for handball against Sterling. This surely now is Hibs' last chance. We've got 2 minutes of extra time, played in by Orr. And there goes the final whistle as the ball was in mid-air. Referee Brian McGinley brings the game to a close. Kevin Drinkle's goal in 42 minutes, enough to win 2 vital points for Rangers.
A very tough victory. What was your reaction to the performance?
Yeah, we knew before the game, Jock, that it was going to be a battle here. You can see the conditions of the pitch. It was never going to be a classic, and we rolled our sleeves up today and got the desired result, and I'm delighted with it.
But it's not really the way I would imagine you want to play.
We play it in the Premier League. It's what the public want to see, I suppose, but ultimately, no, it's not what I want long term. I'm looking for us to get it done and play a bit more football than we are at the moment. But again, you can only do that if you've got the facilities to do that. And we have tried in the last 2 years to get our pitch right, and we're going to try again this year to get it right, and hopefully we'll make a big step forward this summer in trying to do that, because I feel that some of the pitches in the Premier League are not up to scratch. I don't think the public want to see a lot of the football that they've seen here today. I think they want to see Mark Walters taking people on, or Davy Cooper taking people on. But when the ball's bobbling around their knees all the time, it's extremely difficult. Belly couldn't play football in here today.
It does seem a problem when you get such talented players on both sides, and they're getting tackles all the time.
To be fair, we've been to Aberdeen this year. They leave the pitch ploughed. We've been to Dundee this year. It's a ploughed field. Parts that are normally good parts. They feel they have a better chance against us if they leave the pitch uneven. That's their prerogative.
But you leave
Aberdeen, like we drew at Dundee.
But you have players though, quality players who adjusted well today.
Yeah. When I was at Liverpool, people said, "What's Liverpool? They can win the English First Division. They can go and do so well in Europe." It's about being able to adapt. And when we look at players, there's maybe more skillful and more talented players in Britain today, but it's about the ones that are willing to come to Easter Road and roll their sleeves up and play on a pitch like this and get the desired result. And that was Liverpool's secret, and is Liverpool's secret, that they can adapt themselves.
So at the end of the day, with Kevin Drinkle getting that goal, how did you see that?
I think really on the run of play we deserved it. We had a couple of chances in the second half as well. And really, I feel we were worth our win today. As I said, it was never a classic. We had the better chances, created more. And Hibs are a difficult side to play against. They work very hard. And it's always difficult coming here.
And what news of Derek Ferguson?
Well, it was our intention before the game started that we're going to change Derek for Ray Wilkins sometime during the second half. And he got a knock on his shoulder. This is a shoulder he put out a couple of months ago, and it became sore for him. And but as I said, it was always our intention to substitute him anyway, to make that change.
Will he be available for Monday?
Both him and Ray Wilkins will be available for Monday, yes.
How do you feel about that game now?
That's another battle. We're going there. Dundee United will play similar way to Hibs did today. They'll make it very, very difficult for us, and we have to be up to the challenge.